All right, so she's 6 points out from fourth because hubby has 46.
Okay. So the difference tonight is 6 points.
Yep.
And that is for, what, 5 drivers like that?
Yep.
All right. I'll let you go ahead and talk that because I, honest to God, will not remember most of that, but I will. I can remember that it's going to be, 6 point difference for the win. Mark, stop sending these things while I'm trying to get the fucking thing up. Damn it. All right. Okay. That's not his fault. It's my fault. I should have had this done by now. Series. We're at Texas tonight. All right. Ready to go?
Yep.
Let's go live. All right. Oop. I guess we're going to join now.
All right, we hopping in?
Yeah, I guess so. You just said join now.
All right, I'm hopping in.
It didn't even give me a second to talk about the intro. So why don't we get that over with? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PTM Racing, and we are live here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Truck Series. And if you wanted a show here tonight, guys, the points race tonight from 4th down to 7th, or excuse me, 6 other drivers is 6 points. 6 points separates the field from the entire top 4 spot right now. There are three spots available tonight as Sludge has all but locked up the first spot, as he will also be the fastest qualifier with the one Don't Mess with Texas in her home state, McCarthy, in the 22. As we go green flag high in the air, here we go in Texas. Now, I'm also here joining me with Dirt here. And Dirt, why is the points race so tight and so hard here tonight?
It's been a short season. Nobody really had enough time to build up a gap and really, build up a cushion for the points. So it stayed relatively close, and as a result, we've got just about half the field that's kind of in contention to snag that last spot, as Sludges kind of ran away from it. But man, they're coming out of turn 4 here, and that's a kind of a trouble spot at Texas, man. The car is going to get real loose as the tires wear. We're going to have green flag stops in the final stage, not in the first 2, but the tires will still wear through these first 2 stages. So watch for them to get a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 4.
All right, so yeah, the turn 4, I can definitely say from experience that was probably my worst turn of this entire track. I think you even had some troubles there, but it looks like Oaksy in the number 3 actually out of turn 2 got a little bit loose and took a few drivers with them. Number 22, McCarthy, getting involved in that one, and a few other drivers back there. I think that was Bowie. I think that was Artie, my dad, the 54, getting a little bit of a run there, and Sparkalicious as well, getting put back a few spots. So HD Nightster now actually make a move around there as the field kind of separates out. Sludge yet again, it's been a great season for him. Nonetheless, he's only had one true bad race, and that was at Watkins Glen. He actually got a little bit loose, and it cost him his entire race, despite the fact that he was such a fast driver on that track.
Right, and that's a tough track to tame anyhow. I mean, if any track was going to trip him up, I'm not surprised it was that one. But he's had a phenomenal season, and he's pulling away now. Now, one of the cars that was involved in that scuffle last lap was Boyo, and he is currently on the bubble. He was coming in tied for 4th in points, which is the final slot. And I believe right now that is going to put him in a little bit of danger in the points. So he's going to have to hope that McCarthy isn't having a great run, but, I mean, she's getting up there. She's made some moves, and I believe she's up to P4 right now, which is not good news for him.
The hometown city girl in her home state and her home track. She's been trying to get into that winner's circle ever since Michigan. Unfortunately, she's had nothing but bad breaks and bad luck. It seems like every time she runs out there. But tonight, I talked with her earlier, and she said flat out, I have had a horrible season after that first race because I keep blowing my motors. As she pulls the move downside of Oaksy in the number 3 there, takes second place away from him as the field's still trying to figure out a way around to Sludge there. But the battle continues for second as Oaksy getting a little bit more of a run off turn 4 than McCarthy.
Right, he got the drive down the banking and kind of pulled a crossover move right there, but he's not quite in the clear yet. She's still right on the bumper. And look at that, here comes JR as well putting on the pressure. So that's a 3-way battle right there brewing for, I believe, what is P4.
He's currently in P4. The battle is for second there as
Battle is for second, yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, JR currently, good old JR, we're going to now call him. He is currently in P4, looking for P3 and P2 as McCarthy trying to find another way around him. As Oaksy in that number 3 Texas design truck as well, I might add. So technically it's a homecoming for him, at least in his truck. But HD Nightster, I mean, I'll tell you right now, guys, you can't count that kid out. He's been fighting all season. He's been trying to figure out everything and anything to get back into the points race. And then, of course, you can't count out the very always fast Positive Throttle coming off that big win at Watkins Glen last race, And, man, she had an incredible showing there, and she's just trying to hopefully get one last chance at that points race and into the final spots. But up front, yet again, the battle continues. Oaksy still trying to hold off one McCarthy as good old JR and that 88. Oh, JR's going to get a bit of that out of it. One McCarthy getting a big hit lick, and Sparklish is involved in that one.
Yep, Spark's going on the back stretch. They're going to get it gathered up. Looks like he's got a little bit of front-end damage. I do believe that was a game caution. Everybody's slowing down, so that's good for Spark. That's going to give him a chance to get some damage repaired. Looks like the... Oh, I was going to say looks like JR didn't get too much damage, and then I looked at his hood. He's got quite a bit of damage, too, so these guys are going to have to bring it down pit road. And they're going to start at the tail end, most likely, due to that repair time. But, you know, we got a few laps of racing here left in the stage, so it's not necessarily over for them. They got a chance to get up there.
JR's front end dented in more than an alligator's mouth in the state of Florida, but we're not talking about Florida races. This is Texas racing right here, where the big stakes, the big hats, and them cowboys rule the world. Or so that's what Jerry Rice wants you to believe.
Absolutely. So we should have a good amount of racing in stage 1 left, actually, because this is a 17-lap stage. So they definitely got time to get back up there if they can hit their marks and keep it clean.
10 drivers locked in with us here tonight, going back to the green flag high in the air. So the flagman calling that first caution. We have 6 laps remaining of this one. HD Nicer in that 51. He has now made a little bit of a run. Now he's taken over third place, as currently Hoaxy in the number 3. He's trying to find a way to catch up to Sludge, but Sludge yet again just continuing to be dominant on this track early on. But here comes the big run out of turn 3 into 4. Looks like Oaksy's going to have some company with HD Nicer coming up, but looks like he's got a better run out of turn 4. And now look at this. Oaksy will challenge Sludge for the lead.
And while these guys are battling, McCarthy is slowly reeling them in. She took P3 last lap going into turn 1 and 2, and now she is using that draft, getting right up against the bumper of the 3, and we're about to have a 3-way battle for the lead.
Follows the throttle on that number 10, trying to get back in this as well. She's been fighting some gremlins all season, but she's also been saying, you know, she didn't put all her efforts into the truck. She's been trying to focus on that Cup Series too, where the pros reign supreme, but here in the rookies, you can't ever misjudge or miscalculate any races, because one mistake and it's over. And that's why it's so hard to beat these tough rookies out here, and Sludge knows it. That's why he's trying to hold off the number 3 of Oaksy and the number 22 of the 1, Don't Mess with Texas, McCarthy.
Whoa, contact for the lead.
Contact for the lead. Yep, Oaksy was going inside, trying to make that move off the Sludge. He's going to go down low, hold to the bottom, trying to get the better run. He's got to run off on Sludge. Here comes the number 3 of Oaksy. Down the front straightaway here, battle for the lead. Sludge not giving him an inch, trying to hold him off as they're going at it. Here comes the 1, Don't Mess with Texas, McCarthy. She is now making the run and a bid for the lead.
Yep, she is there now. That battling gave her a chance to close in, and she definitely took advantage of that. This is a 3-car breakaway. They got a good 5 or 6 car lengths to the cars behind them, and they're just continuing to extend that gap. But here she comes for second place, a little bit of contact.
Sludge, side by side, they got connected in there and came back at it. McCarthy really wants to get into that top 4 spot. She is battling for everything she's got, fighting for her life. Look at this inside, number 3 of Oaksy trying to get around his bumper. But Oaksy shows her the way and says, "You are not going this way today."
Yeah, that was one of those situations, man, where you just had 2 drivers going for the same real estate. I think Sludge was trying to maybe pinch her down a little bit and kind of prevent her from getting the preferred line, and she just got a little tight. So really nobody to blame there. It was just a racing deal. It happens. But unfortunately, Sludge got the short end of it. He'll be back up there, I think, sooner or later. He's got a good car. And we got plenty of racing left, so don't count him out yet. But we got a crazy battle for the lead right now. as McCarthy will not leave the bumper of Oaksy. She is not given any time to breathe, and here she comes to the bottom once again to the quarter panel for that side draft, making her way through the bottom of 1 and 2. Can she take the lead this time? Let's find out.
3 and 4 actually, and McCarthy makes that run off of it, trying to get the bottom line to stick better, and it looks like she's going to get it. Oaksy opened up the door, and it looks like McCarthy decided to walk right in as we finished up stage 1 there. That was a close finish. I'm not sure who got that one out of the finish. We're getting the results.
I think it was McCarthy.
Now. It was McCarthy. McCarthy gets the stage point. That is crucial. She needed that one. She needs every point if she wants to get into the Final Four at Kentucky next week. This is it. This is where it matters, and this is all that matters. There is no friends in this race. There is no help. You either win it or you're out. There ain't nothing else you can do about that.
Absolutely. What that point means is now she went from being 6 points out of the final slot in the Final Four to being 5 points out. So, given the fact that you get 5 more points than second place for winning the race, if she were to win this race, that would lock her into the Final Four.
All right, well, boys and girls, your green flag high in the air. Let's go on out for stage 2. McCarthy needs a good run here in a good spot because HD Knights at number 51 is not going to give anybody an inch, much less the hometown girl. But here comes Pile the Throttle down low, pushing that pink camo top drive driven to honor Chevrolet up to the front, trying to give it everything she's got. But here comes this Boyo in the number 18, the Monster Energy Beast, trying to make a run and a bid for the Final Four. He does not want McCarthy in there, and he does not want anyone else in there but himself. He's going to try to give it everything he's got here to get into that second place and hopefully overtake.
Yeah, we got some girl power on the front row right now, 1 and 2. We got the Pottles and McCarthy. They're having some phenomenal runs back there in the 19 car. That's
a little bit of a run there. It's Boyo got into the number 88 of good old JR, and that's going to open the door to Sludge. Sludge with a huge pass on the inside, in between, almost 3 wide, and made it stick, and he is now caught up to the P4, but he's still way behind the ladies as they just continue to dominate.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, it's Boyo in the 19 car. We hadn't seen him up front much this race, and he actually had a good run there, getting up into P3 at the start of this stage. And then, obviously, that contact with Sludge happened, and now he's dropped back a ways. That's not good for him. He's another one that's in the points battle, trying to do everything he can to make it in the Final Four. Looks like we almost had a little bit of contact ahead of it's Boyo. With the 51 car there of Nightster. He almost got into Oaksy just a little bit there, but they managed to keep it clean. It was real close. But, man, they're just giving it everything they got. They are just absolutely battling it out. And, I mean, it's the cutoff race. You got to do everything you can.
HG to the exhibit. Nightster just trying to find everything he can and every way you can do to get into that Final Four spot. Last season, he came so close, just had a tough break at Michigan or Eldora as well. And unfortunately, that cost him out, and that bumped him out of the top 4 as the other drivers just managed to work their way around, and McCarthy ended up getting that last spot. Ironically enough, tonight she's kind of in the same boat. The only difference is she has to try to get around 2 other drivers in the name of McCarthy and Piles of Throttle. But also, I'm not really sure who's all in these spots here that are open. I forget the points race. Can you show the fans out there the points race here?
Yeah, so right now, we have, 4th is actually tied right now. So Hubby and Boyo, or Oaksy I should say, are tied with 46 points for 4th. Behind them, it's Hoppy with 45, Pottles with 44, Rich with 41, and McCarthy with 40. So that's the battle right now. It's just a matter of, 5 points now because McCarthy got 41 points with that stage win. So it's a battle of 5 points.
A battle of 5 points right now just to get into the top 4. And remember, this track, I mean, what a way to go out. This was the track that McCarthy picked to race here tonight. And right now, she's showing you why she picked it, just making everything work and everything go right. And she's just hoping and praying that she can just stay ahead of these guys and gals, because Paul's the throttle right now. I mean, take it for what you will, folks. This is not a male-dominated sport by any means. This actually, the females out there in these series they will show up on you and they will make you work for it. McCarthy and Pottles and Throttle are no pushovers. Probably two of the baddest women in the NASCAR League Racing Series, and I will challenge anyone to that for that statement, because these guys can definitely bring it, and they put on some shows that some of the males, even myself, couldn't do if I even wanted to.
Absolutely, and that was shown last week with Pottles strong around at Watkins Glen getting the win. But man, this is a crazy battle between Sludge and Pottles. They are just going back and forth. Sludge keeps sending it in on the bottom, and he's trying to just get his nose up under there, and he can't quite get it. I mean, his momentum is just cut off by sending it so low down towards that apron. And all of that happening is allowing to McCarthy to get a bit of a lead there and, get a little bit of breathing room. Not much, but, enough. And here comes the 20 to the inside of Pottles. Now it's a battle for sure into 3 and 4. Pottles got the high side, which isn't necessarily the bad line in 3 and 4. Sometimes you can carry a little bit more speed on exit. Let's see. Side by side as they exit the corner, I think Sludge has the advantage, but they're going to remain door to door.
Out of turn, going into turn 1, out of that straightaway there. Pottles and Throttle on the number 10 continuing to hold off Sludge, but that went a little bit high there. That's going to give her a problem with Sludge, because Sludge is going to get a better run off that and overtakes her for second. Sludge right now looking to be yet again another favorite and just trying to play spoiler, because he's already in the championship series. But again, McCarthy could have had much easier road if it weren't for two things, and that was she blew her motor at Watkins Glen and at Iowa. If she didn't do that and she was able to run the way we all know she will run, man, that could have been the biggest difference in the world for some of these guys. She'd probably be battling Sludge right now in first and second.
Definitely, but she does have a challenge now, because Sludge doesn't have to battle with anybody anymore. He can just get on the open track and try to run his line and hit his marks and close in. I don't think he is considerably faster than McCarthy. I think he's lapping a couple hundredths quicker per lap, which doesn't sound like much, but that's going to add up. So pretty soon I think we're going to see a battle.
And as we just talked about that, actually there's a battle for P4 continuously right now. As they came out of the straightaway, you've seen Sparkalicious and that number 16 machine trying to overtaking good old JR and the number 88. HD Nightster and that number 51 managed to make it work, made his work around on the front end and actually got around there. So Sparkalicious currently trying to hold off P3. He also, folks, keep in mind, he may be second place right now, or second place right now in the points, but that doesn't mean necessarily he can't be knocked out. If he has one bad finish in that final stage, that could be the huge difference maker, and two more drivers can get bumped in. But the same can be said about Oaksey, and I can never remember who that third one is.
Right, so the top four right now, we've got Sludge, Spark, JR, Hubby.
JR. Okay.
Yep, so JR is back there. He's got a decent points cushion, but again, like Crusader said, if he has one bad final stage, that could be a game changer. Now, interestingly, it seems like McCarthy has a bit more of a long run setup than the cars behind her, because originally Sludge was lapping a little bit quicker than her, and now he seems to be falling back just a slight amount. So that long run setup could help her a ton come this final stage, where we're going to have the longest stage of the race so far.
Oh, a little bit of a side swipe there. Pottles Throttle into the grass, opens up her own lawn care service as the stage comes to an end. And yet again, guess who is up front? You're right. The one from Texas, the hometown girl, pulls off yet again another victory in stages points. This is crucial, though, because now she's only out by 4. She needs a good finish in at least the top 3 just to make it to the top 4. But she also needs Oaksey or JR to follow behind, as well as its Boyo to finish behind her. That's the only way she can make it in now.
Right, like I said, if she can go ahead and get that win and those extra points that you get for finishing first, I think she's got a good shot at being in the Final Four. But if she can finish second and Boyo and Hubby just happen to have a bad break in the last stage, she's still in it.
Definitely still in it, definitely willing to give it everything they got, and this is, I gotta believe, folks, this is going to be a hard pill to swallow for Sludge and McCarthy, because these two will have to go back at it right on the start as they wait for that green flag past that restart zone. There we go, put the pedal to the metal one more time around. There's only three spots available, and anybody can make it in the series. Pretty much every driver you see on this track, McCarthy, Hoppy, Pottles, JR, Sparkalicious, excuse me, and Oopsie, they can all make it in. And it's Boyo as well. They're all contenders. There's only two drivers out there that can't make it, and that's Artie, my dad, in that 54. And I believe that's, actually, I take that back, that's it. So all these drivers, except for Artie and my dad in that 54, are contenders for the championship race.
Man, this is a crazy battle for first. We've got the 20 car and Sludge once again duking it out with PTMs, trying to get on the bottom line with JR in tow. But if they battle out enough, that's just going to let McCarthy set sail like she did the first time. So I think Sludge is wanting to get this battle sorted out pretty quick.
Remember what we said earlier back last week when we were over at Canadian Tire in the Cup Series. Coke had the lead early, and he had drivers behind him battling for that spot, and he just absolutely ran away from them like it was nothing. That's the scary part of all this. You can't let someone run away, but at the same time, it's hard to get over the fact that someone's trying to battle you for your spot. You can't help it. But the good news here is, though, is they're running 42 laps all the way to the distance, so they have a shot to get in the pit lane to actually find a way around that and get back in this. But Paulo Throttle right now is telling McCarthy, I don't care how many times you're trying to win this race, I am going for the win. Oh, and as I say that, she goes right into the wall out of turn 4 and got into Sludge there in the number 20. All drivers hold ground and then keep it going, but I gotta believe turn 4's curse got her loose off that one. You just cannot overdrive turn 4. It'll catch you if you're not careful.
Absolutely, you got to be real careful coming out of turn 4. What happens is the car the weight shifts when you come out of that corner and you get on the change of banking, and it just wants to shoot down to the left-hand side, and I think that's what happened to her, unfortunately. Usually you only see that once the tires start to wear a little bit more, but it can happen at any point if you're not careful, so just an unfortunate break, but luckily she didn't lose that many positions, she's only back down to 4th. So, I mean, that ended a little bit better than it could have.
It did, and the good news for her right now is she's going to try to find a way around the number 20 of Sludge and the number 88 of good old JR, as they will do battle out of turn 3 into 4 JR, trying to hold off Sludge and trying to keep a good maintaining lead away from the other contenders. He's not out of the woods yet, folks. And right now he's got Sludge, now number 20, going up high, trying to take it away from him. And look at this, Paulo Throttle now going into turn 1. They're going to go side by side down that turn there. It's Boyo trying to get a bit of a run as well. He's trying to put the Monster Energy Beast in there. Follows the throttle passes for 3rd over Sludge. Now here comes the run. Holds the bottom and makes JR stay up there. Can she get that run off there? Here comes Boyo and that number 19 Monster Energy Machine. 3 wide out on turn 4. They held the line. But not so much
the
there for
19 car.
Boyo. They contact with JR. Trouble's on the front straightaway here. 2 cars involved in that one.
Man, that was a hard impact for Boyo to that outside line and or outside wall, and then unfortunately JR got collected in that as well. They're going to have to repair that damage for sure. I don't think anybody else was involved in that, but
I think maybe Sparkalicious was, because he looks like he's got a bit of damage on that front end. I'm going to try to get back to his camera here and take a look. Yeah, he's got some damage on the front end. Not quite as bad as JR's earlier, but the booth has called for a caution, so that is what we call the manual caution. That's when the flagman does not have his binoculars on and followed the line. So that means that the booth said flat out, like, get the yellow lights on and let's get these guys into the pits if they'd like, because they need to get fixed up after that one. And you can see some of them will be going into the pits. I know it's Boyo's going to go in there. He's got some heavy damage and a tough right there, but gas-wise, I think, in all honesty, these 3 right now, Hoffy making a bit of a run now. He's going to try to get back into this points race as well. He's currently been in the back of the pack for so long that I think he's going to try to pull the old outhouse to the White House maneuver here, as he will stay out of pits. Everyone else coming in. Looks like Paulo Throttle is trying to get cleared up, and as you can see, that's just from our perspective. The cars and trucks are a little bit all over the place. We apologize, folks. That's PS4 lag for you. Looks like
yeah, that's
Yep, go ahead.
That's a call that I think I would make too. I mean, they only ran about 3 laps on those tires. They're not getting that worn yet. Pitting this early, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference on your fuel. I think they're still going to have to stop again after this. So just that option to stay out and get that that track position is definitely, I think, a good call by the 52 truck there of Hoppy.
I can agree to that, and I think honestly, Hoppy may have just been, in all honesty, he might have just been trying to stay away from all the trouble earlier and just trying to find a line, perhaps, and the chance to get up there. And now, Old Texas Motor Speedway showing you why, you know, every lap counts and every turn matters, because this track is not a track you can just let go easily of. And McCarthy will show them the way and show them how to play, because right now she is going to lead them up. One more time around, we're going to get the trucks all squared up and ready to go. Some damage still on JR. May have gotten it fixed, may have not have. It all depends on the driver, and also if the game is willing to show everyone that, hey, this is actually fixed. That's one thing 704 games can figure out next time for next season, but that's just me.
Right. So I'm looking at a different camera feed, and I do believe they got their damage repaired, so I think they should be good to go. And Junior's had some good speed. He hasn't quite got up to the lead yet, but he's shown that he has the pace to make some moves, get around cars, and he's got a lot of racing left. We're only on lap 46. It's going to be lap 47 when we go green out of 74. So he's got plenty of time. I'd say that was a good time to wreck if you're going to wreck. So he can make the comeback here. And we got Pottles up in P4 as well. After she started her lawn care business, she got back in the truck, came back to the race, and now she's up in the second row. So doing pretty good there.
So we'll call them out the rows here. Row 1, obviously McCarthy and Sludge. Row 2, Hoppy and Pottles. Row 3, Oaksy and Are You My Dad. Row 4, HD Nightster and JR. And row 5, it's Boyo and Sparkalicious. Will round out your field there in the back. So 5 rows in, 10 trucks ready to go. 6 looking to make the playoff picture, or excuse me, 8. It's time to go racing. One more time. Stage 2, the final stage has begun. I don't know what is with me, man. I'm off my phone.
Yeah, I feel you. Man, Pottles getting around on the outside there, up into P3. Now she is on the bumper of Sludge. Those two can't seem to get separated from one another. They have been battling all race long.
If I was McCarthy right now, all I would say is just, you two just keep battling, please. Could you?
Yep.
Look at
Keep
this.
doing what you're doing.
Down low, makes the move from Sludge. Sludge has to back off a little bit. He knows that turn will get loose off him. He can't afford to go on the wall. But look at this. Piles the throttle with a huge run out of the pit to the front straightaway. She's going to overtake McCarthy. The one don't mess with Texas has been overtaken. The hometown girl has been passed by one of the best out there. Piles the throttle. And McCarthy now has got a little bit of a battle here with Oaksy in that number 3. 2 Texan trucks going at it here. Hey, look at this, JR on the 88.
What a run by Pottles coming out of that corner, man. I mean, the amount of straight line speed that she was able to get from that momentum she carried was insane. She didn't just pass one car. She passed 2 cars right up into the lead.
Oh, Sludge and Are You My Dad connecting a little bit there. Are You My Dad not a points contender, but I guarantee you he would love to play spoiler and get his very first win of the season. And finally, these guys just going back at it one and another. As Piles the Throttle continues to lead on, it's JR in that 88 trying to also make it his way up there with Oaksy. These 4 drivers right now are trying to punch their ticket to the dance at Kentucky. And right now, if I was those 2, I would try to lie off a little bit and just kind of relax, because they are in the contention. They just need to hold their position.
Absolutely. Unlike McCarthy, they're not in a must-win situation. Although McCarthy's situation isn't must-win, a win would definitely help her out. These guys, they don't really need to win. They can finish 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th, and still make it in. So you're right, if they just take it easy and take care of the car and bring it home clean, that's all you got to do. But as a racer, that's not necessarily what your gut's telling you to do. Your gut is telling you to go as fast as you can and lead as many laps as possible. So it's one of those things that's hard to fight, but sometimes it is better just to lay back. And McCarthy seems to have gotten sorted out back there. She's running 4th, I'd say about 10, 15 car lengths back from the lead pack. And I do believe Oaksy is gaining on the leader a little bit, but man, she is running a great line. She's running very consistent. I can't see her lap times exactly. We don't have the telemetry, but I believe her lap time's got to be real consistent, because I'm watching her car and she's putting it in the same place every single corner. So impressive driving by the leader right now.
A little bit of a battle here for position 4th right now, as McCarthy trying to hold off HD Nightster at 51. She lost a lot of ground after that restart. Might not have been from the tires necessarily, but definitely was a restart issue, as HD Nightster now going side by side down the back straightaway here. McCarthy is going to be overtaken for 4th as she moves back to 5th. This is troublesome for her, but I'm wondering right now, is she trying to save the truck for later? Because here's the thing, folks. When you pit, you do get enough gas to get through the rest of the race after you've pitted that one time. But the tires are a different story, and right now she's just continuing to back off further and further, or at least losing positions as Sparkalicious number 16 has now made up ground and overtaken for that position of 5th.
Right, and remember too, McCarthy was one of the cars that opted not to pit for that caution. So her tires are about 3 or 4 laps older than most of these guys. I believe the only drivers on the same set of tires as her is the 52, who's also fallen back quite a bit, as well as JR. I think was one of them. No, not JR. I'm sorry, Sludge. Yep,
yeah,
you are correct.
So Sludge, the number 20, McCarthy in the 22, and then Hoppy in the 52, they had opted to stay out, and I believe that may have been a smart long-term strategy, but the question is this track going to give them that benefit of the doubt? Because right now, Sludge and McCarthy are backing off further and further as it's Boyo trying to make a one last getaway run to the end here, hoping something will work and get in there, but right now he's got a lot of drivers ahead of him and a lot of laps left. As Oaksy in the number 3 now just trying and hopefully be able to catch PTM Throttle with that clean air in the front. She is just absolutely tearing it up right now.
These front 2 drivers have set sail. It is crazy the gap these 2 drivers have built up. They are a good corner ahead of the next cars behind. Oaksy into the grass a little bit there. So I'm wondering if everybody else is starting to conserve, starting to save a little bit. And these 2 drivers have just said, screw it, we're going full sail, and whatever happens, happens, and they're banking on getting another caution.
Right now, Hoppy just falling further and further back. I'm wondering if he's trying to play a crazy strategy and hopefully maybe able to get his gas to stay on the whole time. If that's the case, man, good luck. I've never seen anybody be able to do it and succeed with at least 1 lap to go, but nonetheless, he's going to try it anyway. But as you see on the screen here, folks, it's Boyo and Are You My Dad, two longtime friends and great drivers trying to get into that series. They were trying to battle it out a little bit out of turn 1, 2, and then into 3 and 4 with it Are You My Dad overtaking Boyo. But as we continue to lead on from the back of the pack here, HD Knights here kind of holding up 4th place spot right now. 5th place. Sparkalicious is 16 holding off 4th, and 3rd, of course, going to JR. But right now, Sludge and McCarthy, the 2 drivers that you kind of find funny that this is the leader and then the last driver that can make it into that final spot. Going at it right now. That's kind of an ironic twist. Could be if McCarthy can make it into Kentucky next week. I wouldn't be surprised to see those 2 go at it one more time.
Alright, so I just ran some quick maths. You know me and my quick maths, I'm not very good at it, but...
I tell you to do all the boring stuff anyway, so it's not like I got anything left to lose.
According to my calculations, those who pitted are going to be really, really close on fuel. And I mean, they're going to be about a lap short, according to my calculations. So I think a lot of these guys that aren't running on pace, they are saving. They're trying to make it to the end, seeing what they can do. And the guys that have just set sail, you got PTMs up here and Oaksy, I think they're just saying, we're going to need another caution. There's no way we're going to make it. We need a caution. And so their strategy is a little bit different. But it's going to be interesting to see how this fuel mileage plays out. Because
McCarthy spun out of turn 4, and JR as well opting to pit. I think McCarthy was trying to pit there and ended up going straight in the wall, but those 2 are going to pit right now. But so those drivers are going to stay out. I mean, that's going to be kind of crucial for them at this point, because right now, PTM Throttle is catching up to McCarthy and JR, and if they get lapped, and these 2 drivers right now find a way to keep going with their momentum into the pits, man, that's going to be tough to get around that now.
It absolutely is, and unfortunately, I think they're going to get put a lap down there. I'm not sure that McCarthy hit anything. Her car looks pretty pristine, whereas JR has a little bit of damage there. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I didn't really catch it. I got it out of the corner of my eye. But that happens sometimes, man, especially at this track where the hard left turn onto pit road is so sharp, especially compared to some other tracks where you have a little bit more wiggle room. Sometimes drivers come into pit, the drivers behind them maybe don't know what's going on, or they're not prepared for it, and there's just this checkup that you can't really avoid, and you get this stack up, and accidents like that happen. But I would like to think there was some communication going on there saying, like, hey, I'm going to come in and pit. Usually that's what these drivers will do. But even so, sometimes you get on that apron and things happen. So Unfortunate break for those drivers, both having great runs tonight. Hopefully they can somehow stage a miracle of a comeback. We never count them out in this league because anything can happen. It's NASCAR. It's motorsports. You know, you get that break and you get back up front. But right now, speaking of up front, here comes Pottles to put the 54 truck a lap down.
All right, my dad at 54 opting to stay down the bottom with these drivers past him as he'll try to get his momentum back in the back straightaway there. But you can look at the lead right there, folks. That's about a second and a half, if not close to a second and 3/4 away from Oaksy, as Oaksy continuing to run the muck and run the line. Actually, he is opted down. He's going to go into the pits as well now. Sparkalicious will overtake him for second place. So now a changing of the guard yet again, as Sparkalicious is in the top 4. So honestly, he doesn't necessarily need to be in that position, but he just wants to kind of play spoiler as well and hope everything sticks out. But man, they're coming down the last 10 laps, and these guys are getting closer and closer to that fuel run. This could be trouble if they're not careful.
Speaking of the pit sequence, the 20 car of Sludge has also come down pit road while they were battling it out up there. So that really only leaves a couple cars on track that have yet to pit. So again, this is kind of the same strategy I think we saw Pottles try at Watkins Glen, where she stayed out as long as she could, and here she comes down pit road along with Spark on her bumper. I don't think they had any choice in the matter. There was just no way they were going to stretch that fuel to the end. But she had a huge lead when she came in pit road, so this is going to be interesting.
This is going to be interesting indeed. I'm going to keep an eye on these guys right now. We're going to see who gets out first here. Sparkalicious getting tuned up, ready to go. Follows the throttle, putting into her pit. She's getting cleaned up and good to go as well. So now we'll see who can get the run on this, because these two will be first and second, barring any penalty points that they got from pitting in. And I'm not seeing anything going on down the track, so it looks like they're going to come clear. Sparkalicious getting a bit of a
race
run
off pit road.
And the race off pit road is going to give it to Sparkalicious out of that one. Holy smokes! And JR actually making the pass around, so he's not longer a lap down, but that could be trouble for ThePottles. She had such a demanding lead. Sparkalicious, though, managing to get a great pit stop, but will that be a long-term run? I'm not sure how many tires he took in the pits.
I believe he took 4, because he only came out just a little bit ahead of the 10, and I clocked the 10's pit stop as being about 16 seconds. So that's definitely a 4-tire stop unless something went wrong.
Well, the 10's got some trouble here. They've got some battling to do here, as Oaksy in the number 3 now trying to overtake for third place here. Follows the throttle, being moved back to third. It's Bolio in the number 19, actually has the lead. He is not pitted yet. I'm not sure if he's trying to play that crazy game and trying to hopefully stay out the entire time, but I've seen crazier things happen. He might be trying it.
Are we sure it's not Pendle in that car? Mr. No Pit Pendle?
I honestly told Pendle literally a couple days ago, I'm like, for the love of God, stop saying no to anything. Start saying yes to something, please. Good Lord.
Except for drugs. Say no to drugs.
No, say no to drugs, please, okay? Don't drugs, please.
They're bad, okay? So we have 2 cars that haven't pit, I believe, because Pottles should have cycled out into the lead once everybody pitted. And I believe she's currently being scored in 3rd place. So we have Boyo, who hasn't pit yet, and somebody else. Let's see if we can find him on the camera here. Possibly Hoffy?
I'd say Hoffy. My dad's going to the pits yet again. He actually got a lot of damage off that one. So Hoffy will pull into the pits and leave. After that, everyone has pitted and is clear to go. But right now, JR currently in trouble getting lapped down from Pottles and Throttle and Oaksy. I'm not sure where McCarthy is right now. We're actually trying to get a connection on her and see like where she's at. So we're pulling up some streams here and trying to figure that out. But right now she is far away from everyone as we continue on with this one.
And here comes Pottles to put the 88 a lap down once again. I believe that puts him the first car a lap down once the pit cycle is ended. But we got 5 to go next time they cross the line, and we only have 1 car that has yet to pit, so it's going to be wild.
It's going to be wild indeed, and right now JR just continuing to get passed right now as Oaksy at number 3 overtaking JR, good old JR on that 88, and that number 16 of Sparkalicious. Those two look awfully similar tonight. 16 of Sparkalicious now overtaking as well, so JR continuing to get pushed back. This could be troublesome if the drivers ahead can overtake and win this one here. But I'm not sure, to be honest with you, I'm not sure who is where in the positions, because right now PTM Throttle, actually, I just got confirmation from our producers, thought this took you guys long enough, that she is actually overtaken for the lead. So now it's a battle between her and Oaksy in the number 3.
Yes, sir.
And 4 laps left.
Sparkalicious is not far behind them either, so we're about to have a 3-way battle for the lead with 4 to go. I gotta commend It's Boyo. He stayed out as long as he could. He was committed to that strategy, and the amount of fuel he should have had, he did a good job saving. He shouldn't have been able to even stay out that long. And if he had a caution, that strategy could have helped him tremendously. Unfortunately, it just didn't play out. But a great attempt by him, great strategy, and you know, he's had a decent run tonight. So you know, just good driving to him. And man, PTM's pulling away again, as now we got a battle for second between Oaksy and Spark. Spark has a lot of speed tonight, man. Good showing by him. It's good to see him get a good run. We've talked about him being one of the most improved drivers in the league, and it shows, man. He's now trying to take second place. To the bottom he goes, but is he going to have the speed? Right up against the door.
Let's say a little bit down low. Oh, boys, Rubbin's racing. I love seeing that, but y'all got to be careful. The Oaksy in the number 3 gets overtaken from Sparkalicious. 2 to go. Or, yeah, 2 to go here, folks. PTM's the Throttle. Say what you will, but this season, I would say, is her rebirth. She finally has found everything, the keys to victory and all that, and found a way to put the pedal back to the metal. And now, with only 2 to go, she currently looks to finally have this one wrapped up and ready for her crowning here at Texas. But right now, also, the big story is Sludge trying to overtake overtaking McCarthy, and McCarthy just gave him a little bit of a rub there out of turn 2. Maybe a little kiss goodbye for the season, perhaps, but man, she had a run there and a half, but didn't quite get around Sludge. Final lap time as they're coming down the back straightaway here, folks.
Yep, coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. PTM's has a commanding lead, as Oaksy's going to try to get second back from Sludge. But here at Texas, coming across the line, 2 in a row, PTM's gets the win.
PTM's the Throttle finishing first. Second's going to go to Sparkalicious, number 16. Oaksy in the number 3. We're going to get the results here in just a minute of who is where. And I can tell you right now, this could be an interesting points race setup, because some of the guys are already in the top 4. Look to already have taken this one to the bank and all that. PTM's Throttle winning this one. Sparky second. Oaksy third. The 88 of good old JR finishing 4th. HD Nightster in that 51 pulls it into 5th. It's Boyo finishes 6th, 7th. It's going to go to, I believe that's going to go to Hoppy. Yep, Hoppy, and then 8th going to go to McCarthy. Sludge will finish 9th. Is actually his worst finish of the season, I believe. And Ari and my dad rounding out your final top 10 here tonight. So we will hear from PTM Throttle and Sparkalicious and Oaksy here in just a moment, folks. And we're going to see how we'll see if PTM can pull off a good burnout here in Texas. But man, I'll say right now, my hat goes off to all the drivers tonight. But unfortunately, I would say McCarthy probably not going to make this one.
No, unfortunately, I think that 8th place finish is just not going to be enough. We'll see once the points are totally tallied. But she is going to get the fastest lap. She did get, I think, yep, there she goes. It's fastest lap with a 30.465. Second had a 30.489, so really close battle for fast lap, but McCarthy is going to take that feather in the cap right there, the fastest lap, so that's pretty cool.
Feather in the cap, man, you just keep throwing things at my